Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you guys. I feel like woosah, like rejuvenated a little bit. I know I recorded yesterday, but like I just kind of, did my show notes, recorded. I didn't do a lot of draft work, spent time with the family. Today is, the show's called 49ers Rush, right? Today is the Mad Rush, 2 weeks, finishing everything there is about this draft class for us. So I am pumped. I've got 2 shows today, recorded with an Australian podcast later on, talking quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Excited about that. But today and for the next 2 weeks, it is NFL Draft Frenzy. We're exactly 1 month away from the NFL draft, which is going to be a lot of fun. And so today's show, which I'm excited about, it's twofold. The first half is going to deal with 49ers cuts coming. I don't think the 49ers cuts are done. Shout out to my man, Juice TD Tracker. He's a legend. I went through, and this was his idea. I mentioned it, but it was too much work, and whenever I was late, but he's like, man, we need to know what all the future options are on contracts with current 49ers, because if you have a future option, it's like the Grim Reaper knocking at your door because, man, we got to get Jed York his money back. So I went through the entire 72 players currently signed. There are 7 players that have April 1st options or September 1st options that have a lot of cost-cutting, cash savings for Jed York that could be on their way out. So we're going to talk a little contract details. And, man, spoiler alert, I think I made a mistake on a future podcast. Live, I was looking at Jake Brindle's deal, and I thought he had an option 1 bonus. He did not. He did last year. Jake Brindle's not on this list. That is a doomsday scenario. If you like good football, especially good offensive line football, Jake Brindle being on this roster long-term just seems to be what it is. But anyway, so he's not one of the many that we're going to talk about today, and kind of what those impacts are. Then we're going to talk some, who the 49ers have been meeting with. We have a complete breakdown. The 49ers Rush team, shout out Ben, broke down each position. Steph 49er she lists them all on her website. She's great. Go check her out on Twitter or YouTube, wherever. Steph 49K, 49Kers podcast. Great stuff. What can we learn from the meetings that have been had? Which there are, goodness, how many meetings are they currently at? 122 meetings total. And so we break that down position-wise. We break that down round-wise. What can we learn about that? And then the second half of the show, which I'm probably most excited about, I'm going to debut my top 10 defensive tackles in this draft class and their tier gradings as well. So round, all that kind of stuff, where they rank, how that looks. And it's not my final top 10. I know there's going to be somebody that's going to break into the top 10. I already have a couple names that are in there that could be there. So I've got what I do, and it's always fun process because I stack all the players, close and in tiers, right? And that's through 2 to 3 game tapes. And then when there's some guys where I'm just like, man, I'm not sure the difference between my 7, 8, 9, I'll try to find common opponents and I'll watch them against similar opponents and allow that to be the tiebreaker. And so I still got to get that last process, but I feel pretty confident, to be honest with you, with my top 10 ranks. I'm excited about this. So defensive tackle, obviously the biggest positional need for the 49ers. That's what we're going to be breaking down. This is episode 1376 of the 49ers Rush podcast. Thank you to our executive producers, Corey Robbins, 49ers George 365, and David Gill. Let's get going. Appreciate all the hashtag CCs. You guys are unbelievable. Guys, gals, everybody. What's up? What's up, John? How we doing, man? You guys, man, y'all ready to talk some football? And I'm excited about this. It's fun when people are excited and I'm excited and there's lots of stuff to talk about All great things. Look at this. Bang, bang, rebuild gang. Thank you, Brandon. Wu-Tang is for the children. Dave, ask them who our new punter should be. Talking about the Australians. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Can we cut Brindle? Yeah, why not? Jake Brindle could be cut. Jake Brindle, I'm not saying he should be cut yet because you didn't bring anything in, but Jake Brindle has zero guaranteed money on the last 2 years of his deal. He signed through 2026, which he'd be 34. But so yeah, no guaranteed money. So he could be cut at any time, but he is a cheap player. 3.7 million cap hit this year, probably one of the lowest for a non-rookie center in the NFL. Yeah, he's cheap. I'm not saying you should cut him. He should not be a starter. He's not a starting player, has not been a starting player for a few years now. Really should have never been a starter outside of injuries, but that's okay. We'll keep going through some of these comments. I love it. If we do cut or trade someone next, it's going to be Ayuk. Yeah. I don't like it. But let's start with Ayuk. Okay, he has the largest, by far, April 1st bonus. So it impacts not 1, but 2 years. On April 1st, Brandon Ayuk's $4 million, another $4 million is guaranteed on this year. But also another $16 million is guaranteed for 2026. So you're talking a $20 million guarantee spread out over 2 years, $4 million guaranteed this year, $16 million guaranteed next year. I understand why all of the let me phrase this in a couple different ways. I understand why there are so many Brandon Ayuk trade rumors. With what he created, the circus that he alone himself created last year, and Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers supported by running up the stairs and saving the trade. Should have traded his ass last year. 100% factual. You were wrong in not doing so. Even before the injury, you would have been right to trade him. You did not get a $30 million player last year at all. But you did it. He gets up there. He laughs about it. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I screwed him over. Awesome, Brandon. That's a great way to handle things. Also, making fake videos, another great way they handle things. Anyway, whatever. Shorts, whatever. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. Lack of effort, whatever. It got better, and he kept improving, and then he got hurt. The injury should not be the reason why you trade a player. The only reason why this trade has grounds is because of Jed York's pocketbook. That's it. No, you should not trade Brandon Ayuk, who, again, let's just look at the age. Like, you signed him to be a foundational piece, period. He's 27 years old. Like, you still have him locked up for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah, he's not going to be right for the 2026 season to start out. But that's with what you've done this offseason, it's not like 2026 is a priority. Jed York has spent $100 million less cash, 1/3 less cash this year than he did last year. You've already demonstrated 2026 ain't a priority. So what about 2026, 2027, 2028? You have him locked up for all of those deals. He should be a foundational piece moving forward with Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall. No, I'm not saying CMC. I think he's got 1 to 2 years left. No, I'm not saying Trent Williams. I think he's got 1 to 2 years left. I'm fine throwing George Kittle in that if you extend him. But again, Jed's cheap now. Hopefully just 1 year thing. Juwan Jennings, last year of his deal. Hopefully you extend him. But again, Juwan Jennings is going to make an appearance on this list as well. He's got a September 1st bonus as well. So we're not even out of the woods on him yet. Without the Jed York cheap factor, I don't think that these rumors would even exist. You don't have a replacement on the roster for Brandon Ayuk. It does not exist. It does not exist. Right here, David, I don't get the fascination with Jed York, John. We spent $350 million last year and went 6-11. The problem is you didn't replace anything. You didn't sign one starter in free agency. You're one of the only teams in the NFL that did not sign one starter. You didn't sign one. You replaced nobody. You shipped out players that Leonard Floyd, Malik Collins, for no other reason than to save him money. You have Kyle talking about we're on spending restrictions. You have John Lynch talking about we're on spending restrictions. All that comes from the owner. You're $40 million plus under the salary cap, and you didn't sign one starter, not one. And there were cheap deals to be had out there on the market that fit your scheme perfectly at major positions of weakness, and you stayed away from it. And I know everybody's going to side with the billionaire. That's just what it is in today's society. I hate it, but that's okay. And disagreements are okay. But the fact that you've got cap space, Brock Purdy deal is not going to affect cap space for 3 seasons. 3. Not for 3 seasons. And hopefully it's just a roster reset. I read Albert Breer's article this morning talking about how, the Rams last year, the Bills, and, those ties have been made. I hope so. I hope that's the way that it goes. I don't see it as a rebuild. I just see it as a cheap owner just trying to prove I'm in charge here and putting out an inferior product. That's all I see. We have all the cap space to make a lot of moves. He's just not going to do it. And it's a cash issue, not a cap issue. Do I think that they're going to trade BA? I do not think he should be traded. I don't think that they will trade him, but that's $20 million. The only reason why I think there's an option to trade Brandon Ayuk is just because of Jed York. That's it. Because you're not making football decisions anymore. You're making owner money decisions. And you guys can keep sending me the emails on how I'm wrong on this. That's my personal take. And whenever you have the head coach and the GM come out and say, yeah, we've got to pull back cash. They're not talking cap. We're not talking cap dollars. We're talking cash from the owner. And everything this offseason backs that up. And every contract they did, it is pennies on the dollar. The only one that wasn't was a tight end, which is so weird. But again, not a starter. He's a tight end too. He ain't going to start over George Kittle. Not going to start over him at all. That's what it is. David says, I don't side with billionaires. I'm not saying you do. I'm saying a lot of people do. I also don't blame them for everything. I've given Jed credit for a decade. Since I started this show 9 years ago, I've considered Jed York to be a very, very good owner. He was terrible whenever he started. This year, I'm sorry, this is the terrible playbook of owners. The only teams you have in common this offseason is the Browns, worst ownership in football, or at least one of them, and Jerry Jones. 3 worst spending. The Javon Hargrave deal was terrible. I'm not saying go out and pay ridiculous amounts of money for old free agents. That's what I'm saying at all. I'm saying not signing one starter whenever you lost 8 in free agency is crazy. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. Right here, Yorks have been cheap before. Whole Nolan era, money-making moves. On a 6-11 team, I'm good with getting rid of players and rebuilding. Yes, I have no problem letting the players go. But you got to replace something. Going into the draft with this many needs is not a good football decision. Like, this year is different than every other year under Shanahan. Now, yeah, resetting, I get that. But not one starter with $40 million plus cap. You have the cap dollars. You have them. I don't understand how that is signing 11 draft picks isn't going to affect that. You're literally not using cap space to benefit your team now. Somebody explain to me why that's a good thing. I'm sorry. I hate that we always go back to this. Jed's not even in my freaking notes. But that's okay. Right here, Niner Co. I don't think he's cheap. He spent the second most amount of money since Shanahan took over. Right? Yes, that's the thing. That was good owner, positive owner, and I've given him credit for that. This bad owner, we've seen it. It's the curve. Started off terrible, learned his lesson, and now he's like, actually, I prefer just saving money. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, shoot, Jed York's come to my parties before. Like, I'm not going to ever be a person that is going to suck up to anybody, and I run my own company, and I do that so that I can say what I want to say. I talk to other people that do not and are not allowed to say these things that I'm saying. I have had conversations with other content creators that cannot say. They're not allowed to because they've been told they're not allowed to. I ain't never going to be that guy. That's why I ain't got credentials. That's why I won't get credentials. I don't want them. If I can't say what I feel, what the hell am I doing here? I worked hard to get to where I am, and I'm very happy. I love my job. But anyway, right here, Chapman saying Jed is capping about the cap situation and not forking over the cash. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and again, we know this. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan already said this. They already told us this the issue. That's why I don't understand why people keep disagreeing with me on it. Like, this is not. I didn't come up with this. They literally said this. Eric, hard to know what the York's bank account in terms of cash, not overall value on assets. Oh, he's super rich. I mean, that dude, billionaire. The whole family. Yeah. And I don't want to go after garbage overpriced free agents either, David, at all. But there were a lot of value deals that were available to be had out there. A lot of value deals. And you went, okay, so here's my question. The 49ers made an offer for Joey Bosa, right? Why? Because they have a need at end, but they didn't sign anybody else. So why did you go after Joey Bosa? You went after Joey Bosa because you wanted to improve your roster, but Joey Bosa was the only defensive end that could have improved your roster? You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't add up. You made a deal. You offered Drake Greenlaw. You wanted to keep Drake Greenlaw, but you didn't. But did you sign anybody else to replace him? You didn't. You didn't. Nobody else. You have the worst defensive tackle room in the NFL. Nobody. You cut your starter. Why? To save $4 million cap. Malik Collins wasn't great, but he was better than anybody else we had by a mile. Leonard Floyd wasn't great, but dude had 8 sacks, and you learned how to use them. Took Chris Kusarek half the year, but once you cut his snap rate, he was effective. You cut him. Why? Save $6 million? He went and got paid twice as much anyway. Yeah, I'm going to stand pat on that, and that's okay. Disagreements are great. I ain't got no problem with that. And yeah, maybe we front load contracts now. Like, that would be cool. If that's the case, man, let's do a couple restructures. Let's front load them. Maybe you front load a little bit of Brock's deal. Use some of that cap space. The 49ers never done business that way. The only time they did that was once with Jimmy Garoppolo. So maybe that's the plan. You're going to front load Brock's deal. If that was the case, then I got to correct my thing and say, hey, they had a plan outside of just reset and saving Jed money. We haven't seen that yet. If that happens, then I'll adjust that. Yeah, right here, Lee. Team value is $7 billion. Appreciates pretty much do anything. I think Jed York made north of $140 million just off of his shares on the 49ers last year. And that was with being a top spender. He made $140 million cash positive. He made more than any player, times 3. But that's the way the NFL and the CBA is. Now, and I love talking this stuff. And I'm excited because next Monday, 1 week from today, the 31st, at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, we have our Jerry Rice Tiers Zoom Hangout meeting. It has been posted on the 49ersrush.com and on our Patreon. The details are there. So if you want to talk about this, we're going to talk mostly draft and stuff, but that's my time to hear from you. I love those meetings. They're so freaking fun. All right, let's get back to more players with that option first date. Yetur Gross-Matos. He's got an April 1st option for another $3 million bonus guaranteed. That's one of the reasons why I was shocked. I thought Yetur would be more likely to be cut than Leonard Floyd because Yetur didn't have positive play. Leonard Floyd did. Leonard Floyd wasn't injured. I know he's older, but he played all 17 games. How many games did Yetur play? I'm curious here because he was in and out, and even whenever he played, he wasn't very good. Yeah, he played 11 games. 11 games. Didn't start one. And so you save more cash by cutting Leonard Floyd, but you lost the better football player. Yetur has not been great with us. He did have 4 sacks. He flashed in some moments for sure. But yeah, I don't think you can cut him now because you have nobody else. So I don't think that. I think it was going to be Floyd or Yetur. And I was like, dude, you have to cut Yetur because he wasn't good. But they did. They cut the better football player for a cash-saving metric. Again, like, there's no way anybody could say Yetur was better than Leonard Floyd last year. Now, he is younger. He's going to be 27, so I understand that. So, again, what did the Niners say? They wanted to get cheaper and they wanted to get younger. This checks with that, but nowhere was the better football decision made here at all. At all. So, yeah, right here, Eric. Yeah, the Floyd cut made no sense to me either. I just didn't get it. Gross Models was great against the Bears and then kind of did nothing else. I remember that game. I was at the game. That was a fun game. That was probably it was the Niners' best game of the year, that or at Seattle. And so, yeah, it's what it is. It hurts, but I expect Gross Models to be here. Diamador Lenore, player, there's no way in hell you're cutting. This is a team captain. John Chapman's future favorite player on this roster. He has a $6.52 million bonus that becomes fully guaranteed on April 1st. There's no way that's going to happen. Again, back to this. Do I think Ayuk will be traded this week? No, I don't. I think it's bad football to trade Ayuk now for pennies on the dollar. I do not believe in buying high and selling low, which is exactly what you would have done. I think you made your decision and you should write it out. He's a 27-year-old football player coming off an injury, but you've already demonstrated 2025 is not the priority. Him and Purdy should be together for the long haul. So I do not think he should be traded. I do not think he will be traded, but I'd probably say a 25% chance he is traded. So 75-25. I don't want to. But again, if you trade Brandon Ayuk for like a 4th rounder or a 3rd rounder, everything I've ever said about Jed is correct on this show. 1,000%. Now, if you keep him, that'll help. That'll help a lot. Please keep Ayuk. Colton McKivitz. He currently has $0 guaranteed dollars on his contract. And whenever they met with Kelvin Banks, they asked him, can you play right tackle? Like, they asked him in the Combine official top 30 meeting. We're going to talk about meetings in a second. Can you play right tackle? Well, Colton McKivitz has $0 guaranteed dollars. Now, he has a $2.1 million guaranteed option April 1st. And I don't foresee Colton McKivitz being cut over $2 million. He's already a huge value. Look at what Jalen Moore got signed. So you keep Colton McKivitz. He'll get signed for, this is the last year Colton McKivitz on the roster currently. So, like, he's going to get a Jalen Moore type deal, $15 million a year, whatever else. So the compensation pick formula is well in effect with Colton McKivitz. I think this is the last year he's with us, and there's a chance the 49ers are going to be replacing Colton McKivitz and Trent Williams in the very near future. That is terrifying. That is one of the main reasons why I'm so big on getting an offensive tackle early this year. Man. We'll see what happens. Juwan Jennings. Now, he's not an April 1st option. He's a September 1st. But it's $5.6 million. No way you cut Juwan Jennings over $5.6 million. No way. Please, God, no. I wish you could, and I wish you could have extended him. The right play in hindsight 2020, and I said this, I would do a long-term deal with Jennings before I would Ayuk, given they're 2 wide receivers that play 2 different positions. Now, Jennings did play X last year. Once Ayuk got hurt, played well, but that's not where he should be. He's so damn tough and such a great competitor. He overcompensates for a lot, but he's not a downfield vertical stretch guy. He's not your true X. You can put him there, and the 49ers have put him there, but he doesn't open up the entire field. You're not putting safety help over the top when Juwan Jennings lines up at X. But I would have much rather had Jennings at a discount for 5 years than overpaying Ayuk $30 million. Ayuk, not a $30 million wide receiver. Never was. Damn good. 25, sure. But, like, that's crazy what he got. But this is JJ's last year. Another guy that's going to go get paid big and will be a comp pick next year. Like, he's another one of those. Him and Colton, I just don't see it. I don't think that there's a chance you cut Juwan Jennings, especially with the Ayuk injury. You have to have Juwan Jennings this year. You have to. George Odom, I think he's getting cut. He has a $1 million option due, $0 guaranteed dollars left. The 49ers went out and signed 3 safety special teams free agents. You can't keep all these safeties. I don't see George Odom coming back for this team. A complete special teams reset with Brant Boyer. So excited about that. I think that he is going to be gone. Man. I think he's cut. When they signed one safety, I was like, okay. Then they signed two. Then they signed three. I was like, oh, yeah, he gone. He gone. Mitch Wisnowski, he's got a September 1st option. I can't find the details of that option anywhere, but he has zero guaranteed money left on his deal. I personally would not be shocked if, you keep September 1st, you could cut him in camp. You know what I mean? Like, you could allow Mitch. Does he come back healthy? The back issue, all that stuff. I don't think that they're completely out on Mitch, but they're going to be bringing in a punter. Should be a priority free agent, rookie free agent, undrafted free agent, or just somebody off the street to compete with them. But you brought in O'Donnell. You had the other kicker in the preseason, the punter. Both were better than Mitch. Both were better. He got out-dueled both times. But they love Mitch Wisnowski. He's a 4th-round pick, which was dumb. The contract they gave him, which was dumb. I do think that Mitch is the best holder in the NFL, so I do like that. So if you want Jake Moody to improve, Mitch does help in that aspect. And you even had Kyle Shanahan said when they went O'Donnell, the quality holder was a big deal. Now, O'Donnell wasn't a great holder, but he was better than, I guess, whoever they brought in. So we'll see. Now, Jake Moody, he's a rookie. You don't get anything if you cut rookies. That's why I don't think they're cutting Jake Moody. You're going to bring in competition for him, and then you'll see what happens with preseason. So there'll be 2 kickers. They're not cutting Jake Moody. Why? Jed York saves no money. So that's why they're not cutting him. Jake Moody's going to be on this roster throughout training camp and the preseason, no matter what. I've been saying this since last year when Jake Moody was at his all-time worst. Should you cut Jake Moody? Yes, but you don't save money. So you have a competition, and if it's close, tie goes to Jake Moody. Jake Moody's going to have to come out and be as bad as he has been in the regular season, in the preseason training camp, to lose his job. That's just what it is. I hate it. You should cut. I was so glad when they cut Tabor Pepper. Not that I'm ever happy when somebody loses their job, but my job's to cover the 49ers. If something makes the 49ers a better team, you can't have long snappers going after team captains on the sideline whenever somebody tells the worst kicker in the NFL, hey, step it up or lock it in. You lock it up. It's like a Wedding Crasher scene. You got to know your role. That's a team captain, man. Shut your damn mouth. So me personally, I'd cut Mitch Wisnowski. I'd cut Jake Moody. I'd cut Tabor Pepper. Complete special teams reset. All of those guys have been terrible. The 49ers have sucked special teams wise for, I think, 7 consecutive years. So yeah, let's move forward. Let's move forward. The highest drafted kicker, the highest drafted punter in the NFL, and you still suck. Mitch Wisnowski had a borderline top 5 year 1 year, but that was it. 1 year out of 6. Come on. It's not. No. Let's go. Yeah. Yuck. Let's get this out of here. I don't want anything to do with it. So Brant Boyer and again, the one priority that the 49ers have had this offseason and improving, there's only one. That's special teams. You brought in all special teams types players with speed. I do like that. And I do think that that is a positive. Outside of that, again, you didn't add one starter. You got a tight end 2. You got a quarterback 2. I think those are the 2 improvements. I can't find anything anywhere else. I like the signing of Demarcus Robinson. I thought that was good, but he might be suspended. But that was a good signing. But again, not a starter. Yeah, he might start while Ayuk's injured, but and for that period that you need him most, probably going to be suspended. But I still think that was a good deal. I like the tight end 2 deal. I hate Mac Jones. I can't stand him, but he is better by far than the quarterbacks you had the past few years. No doubt about that. Again, I don't like him. I will never like Mac Jones unless he changes being who he is on the field. I just can't stand whiny babies and victims, and I can't stand, oh, woe is me and whatever, taking cheap shots. He's got the most personal, It'd be different if he was tough like Phillip Rivers and talking trash, but no, like he'll freaking slide and try to spike defensive play. Like he's just dirty. I can't stand him, but he's on our team. I got to support him, and I hope some things change and whatever else. But yeah, take that for what it is. Sorry that this show's coming off a little negative. I don't like that. So let's change gears. I'm excited. Let's go over now and let's switch to our draft talk, which I'm super pumped about. We've got meetings with the 49ers. We're going to break down a couple charts so that we can kind of see what they're assessing. And then we're going to do our top 10 defensive tackles. Ooh, I'm excited. I am so excited. The 49ers Rush Road Trip is heading into year 6. We started back in 2019, and we're coming home to the Bay Area. For the draft, we're going to be live downtown in the North Beach area at the historic Broadway Studios for day 1 and day 2 of the NFL draft. So come join us. We're going to join the faithful live broadcast of draft picks as they are coming in live time with full TVs. We got big screens. We've got trivia. We've got giveaways and much, much more. Doors will open 1 hour before the draft starts on both days. And if you're coming from work, no worries. If you buy your ticket, automatic guaranteed entrance, show up whenever you can. Kids get in free. And if you are struggling trying to get your youngsters to be more on board with the 49ers or the draft or whatever, bring them out to an event. They get in free with the ticketed adult, and we make sure our entire team knows kids come first. Every single youngster leaves with something tangible that they can tie to this experience. Come give it a shot. Tickets are currently only $20 for each day. That's it. We're not trying to make a lot of money on this. We're just trying to build a wonderful experience. So go to 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Get your tickets today for day 1 and day 2 of the NFL draft. Prices will go up, but with where they are right now, just $20 a piece and kids get in free. Join us, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. All right, and I've had a lot of questions about parking at the draft party. There's 3 parking garages within 2 blocks of Broadway Studios. So that's just what I would recommend. I found one for $20, one for $25. I don't know what the third one is. I can't find anything online on it, but I've been there. I've driven it. Just stay at a parking garage. Just make it safe if you do drive. But if not, however you get there anyway. That's been a lot of questions. Let's talk some meetings. Here are 2 contract tables, and for the audio listeners only, we're going to be breaking this down for you as best we can audibly. So here we go. By positions, there are 122 meetings so far have been disclosed. And shout out to the great Steph Sanchez, 49 Carats podcast. She's great. Love her very, very much. She's just such a great human, and does great work for the community all the time. She's just incredible. So most of this comes from her data, what she tracks. Go check out her. It's a public document. It is incredible. Anyway, you've met with 1 kicker, 1 punter, 2 safeties. That's the thing that's crazy. You went and signed like 3 safeties. I don't think they're going to add another safety. The only safety that I think they would add is the one that they met with 2 safeties. Only one of them has a draftable grade, and it's a high one. It's one of my favorite players of this draft. It's Andrew Mukuba out of Texas, who's 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick, depending on where you have him slated. I think he could go the back end of round 2, but anytime in round 3. So I think it's Mukuba or bust at the safety position. And for people who are like, yeah, but they never draft guys that they have meetings with. 1/3 of Shanahan's draft picks have all been players they have had meetings with. 1/3. So if you want to do smoke screen or whatever else, I do think that this tells us the positions that they have to address and the positions that perhaps not that important. And I don't think safety is one of those. Quarterback, they've met with 3, none of them with draftable grades. Offensive tackle, they've met with 8. Gosh, that number should be higher. But I will say this. Of all the offensive tackles that they have met with, a lot of them first round. They've met with Mimbu, Josh Connerly, Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell. I mean, they have met with a lot of the top tier guys. So yeah, we'll have to see kind of how that plays out, but they haven't met with a lot of tackles, but they've met with pretty much all the ones that are going to be going early. And Josh Simmons. Sorry. Again, I'll list all the names. Holland Pierce, Miles Frazier. Let's see here. John Thomas. Most of these are interior guys and later round guys. But yeah, those are basically the only draft eligible. Gerald Christian Lichtenhan, who's like a day 3 guy. But yeah, you're talking Mimbu, Connerly, Banks, Will Campbell, and Josh Simmons. Now, man, Josh Simmons, you can't draft him at 11 if he falls to 34. I get it. Yeah, I'm cool taking him there. But you don't meet with all those those are all official top 30 visits. You only get 30 official top 30 visits. This is all of the reported meetings. So they haven't met with a lot of tackles, but they met with all the early ones. And we just talked about, man, how long is Trent going to play? Colton McKivitz going into the last year of his deal. You got nothing. You just let Jalen Moore go, and I'm glad you did for $15 million. But, like, there's a chance you don't have a left or right tackle on your roster heading into next year. We all know Kyle Shanahan's redshirt philosophy. Gosh, but they never draft offensive linemen early. Mike McGlinchey, they drafted at 9. And that was, but, yeah, tackle's just rough. My favorite mock drafts ever are when offensive tackle is drafted first. My favorite ones. And I don't care who it is. If you tell me it's going to be, besides Josh Simmons because of the injury, but if it's Mimbu, Kelvin Banks, or Will Campbell, I love it. And again, on yesterday's show, the back-to-back years, the third offensive tackle went at pick 11. Back-to-back years. So if those are your 3, Mimbu, whatever order you want to put them in, my order is Mimbu, Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell. I'd be happy with any of those 3 at pick 11. I'd be so happy. Offensive tackles always get pushed up the board, man. Always. Always. Interior offensive linemen, they've met with 10. None of them draft eligible guys. Almost all of them are day 3 or later. So do not expect them to go guard early. It may be a tackle that moves down to guard. 10 defensive tackles. Now they've met with a lot of top end Kenneth Grant, Shamar Turner. He's a defensive tackle. CJ West, day 3. David, he's an edge. Let's see here. Derek Harmon. They met with Derek Harmon. Y'all better get used to hearing about Derek Harmon. We're going to talk about him in a second. We do our top 10 defensive tackles. Derek Harmon, that dude is on the short list, guys. I'm telling you right now, if you wanted the safest bet for what the 49ers are going to do in the first round, Derek Harmon. I'm telling you right now, they're going to have a gold helmet on him. There's just, whether you like it or not, he's there. I like it. Other people don't. But, yeah, anyway, I mean, you've met with 2 first-round defensive tackles, Derek Harmon, Kenneth Grant. That's it. Edge players, you met with 10, and you have met with a lot of quality edge players. Shamar Stewart, Nick Scorton, James Pierce. Yeah, I mean, goodness. A lot of guys. Kyle Kennard, Jaw Joyner, Elijah Roberts, BJ Green, Femi Oladejo, David Walker, CJ West, he's a tackle. But, like, you have a spectrum of ends all over the draft. First, second, third, fourth round, fifth round. You have a spectrum of defensive tackles. First, second, third round, fourth round, fifth round. Like, you need multiple of those. And this is probably the first time ever in the Shanahan era where they went into a draft without addressing really any needs in free agency and have so many damn needs. Even back in 2017, you remember they had that huge free agency class where you brought in Kyle Juszczyk, Pierre Garçon, like all those guys. And it was just like, man, they paid. This is the first offseason ever. They have not paid anything in free agency. This is the first one since Shanahan's been here. It's just such a different year. Tight ends, they met with 14 tight ends. And part of me thinks this is why they went so big at the tight end 2 spot. But, man, they've met with Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland's going in the first round no matter what. They haven't met with Tyler Warren. Maybe that's a smoke and mirrors thing. I get a lot of those emails. Mason Taylor, second round. Harold Finn and Jr., second, third round type guy. Terrence Ferguson, second, third round. Fairweather, 3rd, 4th round. Jermaine Terry, 3rd, 4th round. Like CJ Drip, kind of 4th round. Oronde Gadsden, day 3 guy. Like Brennan Stool, 4th, 5th round. Like they have met with lots of tight ends. They're still going to draft a tight end. I can guarantee that. They need a move guy. You've got Kittle, the all-around can do it all. You've got your tight end 2 blocker guy, the Charlie Warner role, but you still need a move tight end. You need somebody. Man, if I could have any player in this draft, it would be Harold Fant in the 3rd round. I would be the happiest man alive. I think that he is just so freaking crap. So good. Sorry, he's not crap. So freaking good. I love Harold Fant Jr. He's exactly what the 49ers needed in tight end 3. Anyway, that's tight end, which I was shocked. 14 off-ball linebackers. Most of these later round guys. Boss's 2nd, 3rd round. Swessinger, 2nd, 3rd round. Eugene Asante, day 3 guy. Chris Paul, day 3 guy. Carson Brenner, day 3 guy. So, like, I don't expect Jahad Campbell. I don't expect that, but they have to get linebackers. And it does seem like they're going to continue. You remember, Fred Warner, 3rd round. Dre Greenlaw, 5th round. Aziz, undrafted free agent. They might be better at diagnosing linebackers and addressing that than any other position. Running backs, 14, hilarious. Kyle Shanahan just cannot help himself. Good Lord. And he's met with running backs of every round. This is a great running back class. You met with Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton's going in the 1st round. He's going to go the back end of the 1st round, maybe 2nd round. If Omarion Hampton is there in the 2nd round, like at pick 43, Shanahan's taking him. I hate it, but I have a 1st round grade on Omarion. He's great. You've met with Caleb Johnson, 2nd, 3rd round guy. You've met with Cam Skattebo, which, man, he's still not working out. Big 12 Pro Day, skip that too. Skip the Combine, skip the Pro Day. Top end speed is a concern on Cam. And I know a lot of people love him. He's probably the best all-around running back in this draft as far as just, out of the backfield, routes, hands, running, tough, can block. He can do it all. But speed is a major, major concern on the evaluation checkpoint of Cam Skattebo. Not toughness. I mean, he's tough as hell. But the fact that he's still not running, it's kind of like Will Johnson for me. Like, you got to have speed as a running back. Now, he said he's going to run at a private workout later at ASU. Why can't you run? You can't run? I don't know. I'm not out on Skattebo, but I'm like, okay, 4th round, let's talk. Not 3rd round, definitely not 2nd round. I don't want a running back that can't run. That's an issue. And with Skattebo, who has played and has more carries and more touches and more snaps than everybody, experience is a great thing. I'm scared when players can't run. That bothers me. Bashal Tootin, DJ Giddens. I love DJ Giddens. RJ Harvey. They've met with Marcus Yarns. They've met with everybody. Shanahan can't help himself. Can't do it. He just can't. He has to have his guys. And then corners. 16 corners. Dang. And yeah, Will Johnson. I mean, you have met with Trey Amos, Darian Porter, Jacob Parrish, Quincy Riley, Max Hairston, Tommy Hill, Kobe Bryant. Corner is a bigger need. Let me rephrase this. I believe with the Robert Saleh transition back, that cornerback is a bigger need for this 49ers team than most fans think. I believe that. What did Robert Saleh do his first year in New York? He drafted Sauce Gardner, paid for DJ Reed to go over there. I think corner, and you didn't address it at all. At all. You brought in the OU guy who I really, really like. Let me see here. I have his Trey Brown. Trey Brown is not an athletic specimen by any stretch. It has been one of the most injured players in the NFL through 4 years, and he had a $1 million contract. I think he had a $100,000 guarantee. Like, that's not your cornerback 3. You have to get a corner, and you didn't do it in free agency. You do not have a corner 3 on this roster. You have Darrell Luter. He has shown absolutely nothing. One of the lowest player IQs that has tracked, and I hate to say that about a player, But like that dude has no awareness on the field whatsoever, special teams or defensively. And he can't stay healthy. And he's not fast. So like he's your 4. Trey Brown's your 5. You've got to get another corner. This team doesn't have a number 3 corner. And free agency's not done. There's still guys out there. But like, what are you getting now? You gotta get a corner. They met with 16 of them in first, second, third, fourth, fifth round. Like they have done more work on corners than they have offensive linemen. You got it. Yeah, corner's a big need. A big need. Huge need. Yeah, Mr. Joe, this is what you're left with whenever you do nothing in free agency. You got to hit a grand slam this draft. Now, the good news is you have 11 picks. You have the most picks in this draft. You have to get 5 starters, which last year was a great draft, and you got 4. You got to get 5 now. Oh, man. Hey, degree of difficulty's high. It's possible. There's no doubt you can get 5 starters out of this draft. You're going to have to draft better than you have drafted at any point in your career. You can go back to, man, I think the best draft that Kyle Shanahan ever had was 2019. And you could say, well, Kyle Shanahan don't draft. The greatest draft we've had since Kyle Shanahan was 2019. You got Nick Bosa. You got Deebo Samuel. You got Dre Greenlaw. You got 3 starters. That was it. But you got 3 like Dre Greenlaw never made All-Pro, but he was an All-Pro level player. You know what I mean? That was by far the best draft. You only got 3 starters. Now, last year, you got 4, which was great. But again, like, how many of these are All-Pro guys? I mean, Ricky Pearsall starter, Renardo Green starter, Dominique Puny, All-Pro type player starter, Malik Mustafa starter. Maybe Isaac Guerrero someday, but I still say no. Jacob Cowing, maybe someday. I still say no. Tatum Bethune, I say no. But like, yeah, you got 4 starters last year. You crushed it. You got to do that again. But hey, you're coming off your best draft. That's a positive. Can you do it again? Can you copy and paste, what you did last year? How many picks did we have last year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 11. Now you can trade up and all that stuff, and I'm sure there will be some movement. Whew. Man. Yeah, great draft. You got to do it again. You can't whiff. Cannot whiff. This roster left you 0 room. What you did not do in free agency left you 0 room for mistakes. You got 11 picks. You have to hit on 50%. Have to. I don't think we suck at drafting. I really, really don't. I know that's like the narrative out there, but you compare us to almost any other team outside of probably the Eagles or the Chiefs. Like, again, I think that we're a top 10 drafting team in that kind of 6 to 10 range. And we have hit, the 49ers have hit on so many third round or day 3 picks that has made up for a lot of the earlier round misses. I don't think the 49ers are a bad drafting team. I that narrative that keeps getting put out there, I completely disagree with. But to say you're going to hit on 50% of your picks in one single draft is absolutely insane logic to say this is our plan. Yeah, first 3 rounds are awful. I don't know. I mean, first round you hit on, you've got hits in every single round. Every single round you do. You hit on Bosa. You hit on Ayuk in the first round. Second round, this is off the top of my head, and I'm sure I'm missing some. Second round, you hit on Deebo. You hit on Renardo Green. Man, is that about it? That might be about it. Third round, you hit on Pooney. You hit on Fred Warner. That's 2 amazing third round hits. Might be missing somebody else, but I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Fourth round, yeah, Spencer Burford was all right. Malik Mustafa, 4th round. 5th round, good Lord. Greenlaw, Hufanga, Samuel Womack was a hit, but you had terrible coaching and you couldn't get him on the field. Now he's a freaking stud starter for another team. But like you've hit everywhere. And then of course Brock Purdy. I don't think we're a bad drafting team. Rick Torres. We have concepts of a plan. That one got me. That was great. I love it. Yeah, Bo, thank you. Put the numbers to it, my man. Bo, 5 out of 11 equals 45%. Sounds a lot less daunting than 50%. I love that. See? Never tell me the odds. No, tell me the odds. I want to know the odds. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, we haven't even talked about the number one position that the 49ers have met with. Anybody want to take a guess what Shanahan position he likes the most? Anybody want to take a guess which position the 49ers have drafted more than any other position? Anybody want to take a guess which position we have paid more than any other position? The answer is all one and the same. 19 contacts / meetings with the wide receiver position, the same position Kyle Shanahan played. And they are not necessarily everywhere. You haven't met with any first-round wide receivers. That's the one saving grace. That is the one saving grace. You've met with Trey Harris, probably second-round guy. You've met with Alec Ironmanor, awesome Stanford guy. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. Isaiah Bond, Juice Wells, Savion Williams, Jaden Higgins. He might be back into the first round. Like, you've met with a lot of day 2 wide receivers. So that makes me think maybe we get a wide receiver that isn't a first round guy. But man, you've met with so many. Ricky White, Isaiah Nair, like just so many wide receivers. 19, the most, by 3 over any other position. Shanahan just can't help himself, man. Running backs and wide receivers, he's never going to go away from them. Never going to go away from them. Oh, look at this. Wednesday. I don't know exactly what time. You need to text me, Rob Louder. What time? My wife is asking me, and I said, I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, we do have to set up a time, but Wednesday I'm doing a show with Rob Louder. It's going to be an absolute blast. So come back, check that out. I'm super excited about that. Lieutenant Simplejack in the room. So now, if you break down the meetings that the 49ers have had based on draft day, 11 first-round picks, 25 on day 2, that's second, third round, and 36 on day 3. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. And then 50 undrafted free agent type grades. Now, again, different people measure those differently, but that's based off of, mine and Steph 49K's kind of evaluation of those players. Kind of tells you something. And I think probably the biggest thing that you can take away from all of this is wide receiver, corner, running back are major needs, according to this 49ers coaching staff and front office. I disagree. Running back, I think you just take a couple day 3 guys and you're fine. I don't know. That's just me. This is a great class. I would wait. You build through the trenches that you have neglected. Offense and defensive line, build through the trenches. But whenever you look at this, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions that you have met with are not offense or defensive line. Top 5, wide receiver, corner, running back, off-ball linebackers, tight ends. You want to include tight ends in that, I'm cool with that. But yeah, I mean, defense and offensive line are not a priority of this coaching staff. Never have been. Well, defensive line was until it wasn't. And you didn't even draft one defensive lineman last year, and you had the oldest defensive line room in the NFL almost. Don't like it. Now, let's get to how to address the trenches, and let's talk top 10 defensive tackles for me in this draft right after this. If you're serious about sports betting, you need a sports book that actually works for you, and that's why I use MyBookie. I've been working with them for over 5 years now. And MyBookie, you're in control. Better odds, better wins, less hassle than other guys, with the biggest selection of player bets and prop bets. Early cash out options, live betting lets you jump in at any time. So if you miss it before tip-off or game time starts, guess what? You get to play your way. Whether you're locking in picks pregame, riding the action live, MyBookie makes sure you always have access to the action. It's not just sports. MyBookie hosts the party that never ends with full-fledged casino. They've got everything from blackjack, roulette, video poker, slots, you name it. So if you're new to MyBookie, sign up now with promo code 49ERS or use this QR code next to me. Get a deposit bonus up to $2,000. Remember, gambling is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's all about building up your funds over time. Don't settle for second-rate book. Bet smarter, win bigger, only at MyBookie. All right. Thomas, he says, John, I disagree. Going back to college, Purdy's best seasons have come with an all-pro or all-American running back scoring 20-plus touchdowns. CMC is probably done as an elite talent. We need a stud to carry the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, even if you drafted a stud, whatever that is, the second round, like, how much is he going to play with CMC this year and Garindo and whatever else? Like, I understand what you're saying. I would argue, and this is where I disagree with Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, get him a damn good sitter that's not going to get his ass kicked every single game nonstop, that's going to turn around and watch his quarterback get hit. That would make him better. But I got lint on my shoulder. Y'all never told me. Come on, guys. I'm just joking. But yeah, I just agree to disagree. I'm not spending valuable resources when I'm paying the highest paid running back in the NFL for 2 years. And if you were going to move on, you should have moved on, but you extended him as an injured player. Gosh, that was terrible. But, I think CMC is going to be fine. Do I think that he'll have another 20-plus touchdown year or whatever else? I doubt it. But, man, I think that I'm fine with Bayshell Tootin. I'm fine with DJ Giddens. Like, cool, get DJ Giddens in the third and Bayshell Tootin in the fourth or fifth. I take that over spending a second or a first-round pick on that. I just don't believe in investing that much at the running back position. But Kyle Shanahan agrees with you, not me. So at least you have that going on. So let's do our top 10 defensive tackles. Top 10. I'm excited about this one. And again, these are in tiers and round breaks. My top player, and he is really, really high on my big board. I'm going with Mason Graham. We've talked about him so much. Such a stud football player, clear cut, awesomeness, D tackle one. Only player that I think is a realistic option for the 49ers to trade up for. I don't think that they will trade up for him, but I would love for them to do so. If he fell to 7 or 8, I hope the 49ers pull the trigger, jump up and get Mason Graham. I'd be so happy. Now, there's a tier drop, and these next 3 I have first-round grades on, but they're nowhere close to Mason Graham. Derek Harmon, I've talked about him so much the past few shows, so I'm going to lay off that. Walter Nolan's my defensive tackle 3. Love Walter Nolan. And Kenneth Grant is my D tackle 4. Really, really high grade on Kenneth Grant for being a run stuffer. There's not a lot of elite run stuffers that I put first round grades on, but Kenneth Grant is that clean of a player, the physical, everything. Oh man. I'm excited. Look at this. Clear cut awesomeness better be a grade in your draft book. I do like that. I do have a little bit of like snarky draft grades and player comps, but I'm still working on those if I want to keep them in or not. But maybe I should keep them in. We'll see. Right here, Vincent. John, not going to lie, was up at 3 a.m. watching tape on Mike Green. I love the player. Thank you, Vincent. Worried his personal stuff will take him off the Niners board. Yeah, I think you have to be. You get somebody dismissed from not 1 but 2 schools. That's a red flag. Tape's great. And Invader, he's going to be pounding this drum nonstop, and I appreciate it because nothing would make me happier than this. Invader says trade down and take Nolan, then use the ammo to trade back up for Grant. Boom, defensive line fixed. I actually think Kenneth Grant might go higher than Walter Nolan. I think now I've got him almost back to back in my rankings. Let me see here. I have Kenneth Grant 27. I have Walter Nolan 21. So they're close. But man, Kenneth Grant needs to be higher. He needs to be higher. I would rather have Kenneth Grant than a lot of guys I have rated ahead of him because a lot of my problem with Kenneth Grant is just the pass rush productivity. That's where I'm just like, man, like, how do you invest so much in a 6'4", 330-pound guy? It's not awful pass rush, but like, you know, I don't know. He could do it. You don't want him to do it. But gosh, he's so freaking good. He's such a freak. 6'4", 330. I like him. I like him. I like him. Linebacker's best friend. He's more of a nose tackle. But gosh, man, I would just, whew. Yeah, Thomas, he's a war daddy. Would love him on the Niners. I would too. I would too. Man, I freaking love it. All right, now my next tier. So my second tier, all first-round grades. Derek Harmon 2, Walter Nolan 3, Kenneth Grant 4. Drop down. Now we're in the second round grades. And my top tier, number 5, Alfred Collins. Number 6, TJ Sanders. I absolutely love Alfred Collins. I cannot put him in the first round. Very similar. If you don't get Kenneth Grant, I want Alfred Collins because he's that elite run stuffer. Alfred Collins, the best block shedder in this draft class, and or tackle. I don't care. He don't stay blocked. Like, nobody can stay blocking this guy. And you can watch him versus top tier talent. You watch him against Jared Wilson, right? The guard for Georgia. Nah, man, not nice. It's not nice. But Alfred Collins not nice to anybody. 6'6", 332. That same type, gigantic build. But he's even worse against the pass than Kenneth Grant is. That's why I have a second-round grade on him. 1 sack, 0 quarterback hits last year, 17 pressures. Had a 69.8 grade in the pass rush, but just so unbelievable. Akeem Hicks, Chris Jones, that type of guy. God, he's so freaking good. Right here, Logan. And I think that this is a very good counterpoint. Don't we already have a run-stuffing defensive tackle in Evan Anderson? I think he's your best defensive tackle you have in the room. And yes, he is a 2-down player only. You need more than one. Usually quality teams have 2 stout run stuffers. You still need another one. But whenever you got rid of Malik Collins, that opened the book to all of this. What's up, Grant Day? My man. Been listening to your new album, man. It is off the freaking charts, man. It is totally my vibe. Appreciate you, man. Now, so Alfred Collins, then TJ Sanders. I like TJ Sanders, and I struggle with exactly where to put him. 6'4", 297. He's that penetrating type that the Niners, again, well, you have Jordan Elliott, you have Kevin Givens. Those are the 3-tech penetrators. Why do we need more? Well, neither one of those are starter-level players in the NFL. Neither. TJ Sanders is that mold. Technique, athleticism, motor, 9 quarterback hits, 5 sacks. Good against the run, but nobody's going to mistake him for Alfred Collins or Kenneth Grant. TJ Sanders more of an all-around 3-down player. Like, he can play all 3 snaps. That's what effort's great. Great at the Senior Bowl. Rex blocks. Smooth, offers a lot of versatility, can line up all over the place. You miss out on Walter Nolan, TJ Sanders is your guy. Is he near as tough? No. Is he near as talented? No. 7.73 cone. I didn't like that. But yeah, I really, really like him. He's just a great football player. So you have Walter Nolan. If you don't get him and you want that type later, so for all you Walter Nolan at 11 guys, if that doesn't happen, you want TJ Sanders in the second or third. I have a second-round grade on him. Next up, still in the second round, but a different tier. So Alfred Collins, TJ Sanders, those are top second-round grades. Then my number 7, 8, these are bottom second-round grades. That's Darius Alexander at 7 and Tyleik Williams, Ohio State, at 8. Darius Alexander, 6'4", 305. 34-inch arms. Like, I don't know why he didn't play offensive tackle. He would have made more money. 4'9", athleticism, motor, speed, hands, moves so fast compared to any other defensive lineman in this class. So you want a defensive tackle that's going to help you with screens, misdirection, things like that. He hit 20 miles per hour at 300-plus pounds on a GPS tracker. Long arms, uses them well. Great Senior Bowl. Smooth, man. Just smooth player. All around. Can do it all. better against the run than the pass, but still quality. 4 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. Like, he's got production everywhere. So another one of those all-around defensive tackles that is a 3-down player. He's so freaking good. Second round grade, just stud Darius Alexander. And I would have no problem if people had Darius Alexander higher. I don't have a problem with that. I just see the other two with elite traits. I think Darius Alexander is more of a complete player without the elite ceiling, but which it's weird whenever he moves so fast. Like, I like his traits more than I like his tape, if that makes sense. But his tape's good. But I think Alfred Collins could be the best run stuffer in the entire NFL. Like, that's why I have Collins up there. I think TJ Sanders could have a ridiculous amount of sacks in the NFL. Like, if he just learns. So, like, that's why I have those guys up there. But they're all second-round guys. Number 8, Tyleik Williams, 6'3", 334. Huge. Just gigantic. Run. You can't move him. Strength, disruption, and slippery. How are you slippery at 6'3", 334? Moves so well for his size. Do wish he played with more effort. That is something that jumps off. Two of the next guys, Deion Walker, who have 10, and Tyleik Williams. When you're that big, you're not going to get the effort, guys, and it shows on tape. Very strong, anchors well, talking Tyleik Williams, another run stuffer. And so, like, man, you've just got, what do you want? You want the run stuffer? All right, Kenneth Grant in the first. Okay, Alfred Collins in the second. Okay, Tyleik Williams at the end of the second. Okay, Deion Walker in the third. Like, you can get your prototype. It's kind of like, you're at Subway making the sandwich. I want to go with that. I'll go with this later. You've got what you want. This defensive tackle class, the deepest of all time. Of all time. Tyleik Williams, I like him. I don't love him. But I have him at the back end of the second round. Now we're into the third round. And we have CJ West. My man out of Indiana. He's my number 9. This is my third round grade guy, 6'1", 316. Again, he's a complete type player. He's way better against the pass than a lot of the other elite run stuffers, but CJ West is an elite run stuffer. It's just, man, he's small, 6'1", 316, small hands, small arms, small wingspan, 4.95. He's got speed. 2-gapper, upper body strength, beast versus the run. I love how he diagnoses the plays and is always where he should be. Hands are great. Speed's great. Just, man, the frame. You're getting a scaled down version of some of the other, of Darius Alexander. You're getting a smaller version of TJ Sanders. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. The numbers are there. The metrics are there. But, yeah, you're getting just the body doesn't have the same value there. He has more experience, though. He's played a lot. You know what you're getting with CJ West, but he might be topped out already. And so that's why I have CJ West as a third round grade. And then D1 Walker. Again, if you wait on run stuffer, he's the biggest dude probably in this draft. Well, defensively, 6'7", 331, huge hands, huge long arms, incredible wingspan, just huge. 21 years old. Elite size, quickness, and athleticism. Plays way too high. Very undisciplined player. Just wins with size. And he's fine staying blocked. That's my biggest problem with D1 Walker. He has no problem being blocked. Like, he'll just keep pushing this guy back and just stay blocked. It's like 4 out of 5 snaps. It's like, man, come on. Make a move. Make a move. His 2023 tape is better, but fun kid. And you can play him on all 3 downs, but probably just he actually graded better in the pass rush. He's got 4 sacks, no quarterback hits, and all of his sacks are just walking the guy right back into the quarterback. Yeah, Deion Walker reminds me of Kinlaw. I could see that. He doesn't have the pop. Like, when Kinlaw hits you, you feel it. They look like their height, weight are similar. They're built totally different. Like, if you stood them next to each other, Deion Walker doesn't have near as much weight room time. Like, his body is I mean, he's jacked. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a freak. But that's why Kinlaw went where he did in the first. And that was a terrible defensive tackle draft. This is a great defensive tackle draft. You put Deion Walker in that same Kinlaw draft, he goes in the second round. Here he goes in the third. I just wish he would get off blocks more. I wish he just seems content to, I pushed my guy back 2 yards into the backfield. I did my job. And maybe that's what, Stoops in Kentucky, they were cool with, but I wish he would disengage and move on. But he just stays kind of dancing with that guy. He pushes him back, and that's his winning rep. So he collapses the pocket for sure. And so you want to stop the run, and you want to go against mobile quarterbacks, and you want to set up more sacks for your outside guys. Dewan Walker fits that. I had Josh Farber just outside, and a lot more guys that I could go in on. I mean, this defensive tackle class, there's a lot of here. I'll just go with some honorable mentions that could find their way into my top 10. Omar Norman Lott, Shamar Turner, Jamari Caldwell is probably going to be up there. Aeneas Peebles. I like Vernon Broughton. But those are probably some of the names that I'm like, dude, I could definitely find their way into this top 10. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. It's a fun, right here. What are your thoughts on Vernon Broughton? I like him considerably. Very, very solid player. Let me pull up his Vernon Broughton. I mean, he's played with Texas for 5 years. And just, only really 2 years of starting, but back-to-back years of just quality, rotational guy, gets in the backfield, does his job. Good guy. I mean, just perfect rotational type guy that could come in. But, man, he wins early or he doesn't win at all. Vernon Broughton. Like, that's the thing. Like, you look at his highlights are better than his tape. And, man, he's that slasher, penetrator, whatever. But I think he goes late day 3. I think round 6 is probably where he should go. Oh, Thor Griffin. Shout out to Ben. Late day 3, check out Thor Griffin. How do you not with a name like Thor? Oh, I freaking love it. Chris, I would love to draft Harmon, Farmer, and Ty Robinson. If you walked out of this draft with 3 defensive tackles, it would not be enough. It would not be enough. Man, yeah, we've talked a lot last Thursday. Go check out the Coach Approach show we did 2 Thursdays ago. We spent a good 15 minutes on Logan Brown. Big fan of him, David R. Tackle Kansas, played with Dominic Pooney. Perfect fit. Niners met with him. Yeah, like him a lot. So, long episode today, but I felt like it was good. Hopefully we got through some things. We didn't piss too many people off, but love you guys. You are the best. And yeah, man, back to draft research with this show's done. And tomorrow we got the John and Wayne show. Wednesday, oh man, this week is just cram-packed, man. Wednesday going to be with Striking Gold. Thursday, Coach Approach. Saturday with Kruger. And I've got a show, a mock draft with CJ Ruthless at some point this week. I got to get that scheduled with him. Man, we in it, baby. It's draft time. And remember, if you just joined us, we do have our Zoom hangout meeting next Monday over on the 49ersrush.com or our Patreon, Jerry Rice tier and up. It's going to start at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's my time to hear from you. I love this time of year. You guys are the best. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.